I woke up in that room, feeling like I couldn't breathe. The lights were off, but there had to be a dozen of us in there, all crammed together on the floor. I couldn't remember where I was, but I knew I didn't want to be there. I was starving, dying of thirst, and the stench in the air was unbearable. Had I been kidnapped? I couldn't even tell. Trying to think back on the last place I was at, I came up with nothing. Like my entire life had just been years and years of this moment. Then, with pure despair, I realized that was true. I had no free will, no hope for things to change. Just this miserable life with a dozen other husks just like me. This nightmare wasn't even the worst part. I could barely remember what the worst was, because it was like my brain had switched itself off to be able to bear it. I was unconscious for most of my life, and this putrid, suffocating room I had woken up in was my home. The rare moment of rest, when things got just calm enough for me to be aware of how shitty and miserable it was to live in this house. But again, my brain kept it all blocked out. Whose house was I in? How long had I been here? With all these questions, I had to ask the people around me. There was someone next to me who felt just warm enough to be alive, but when I tried to speak to them, I could barely make a sound. I felt all this rust and filth blocking my throat, making me wonder how long it had been since I last spoke. I kept trying until it worked, though the answers I got weren't the ones I wanted.
Hello? Is anyone awake? Where are we? What's going on?
Shh, you have to be asleep now.
But I can't sleep.
Then play dead. You know the rules.
What rules? Whose rules?
He's coming. Play dead.
Who?
Finally, the fear of this presence hit me. I remembered it all now. The torment, the starvation, the torture, my body locked up in fear. It was no use running. I'd already done it. I just had to play dead and wish that I could be spared just this once, because he was coming.
It's not you. Good girl. What about you? No. I knew it! You're awake!
I'm sorry, I was trying!
Why are you up past your bedtime?
I didn't mean to, I swear.
Tell me you're sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's not good enough!
I'm sorry for disobeying you, Father. Please forgive me for dishonoring your rules.
If I ever catch you like this again, I'll chain you up in the basement like that other little shit! Understand? You won't see the sun for the rest of the year! You'll be eating the cats until you learn to behave!
Please, don't put me back down there. I'll do anything.
I didn't sleep at all that night. I spent the remaining hours before morning hatching an escape plan. I realized they had never done much to physically keep us in the house, except for when we were chained to our beds as punishment. They just had us that broken, that unable to think for ourselves. All I could remember was that I knew I just had to get out of that hellhole one way or another. After looking around in my bedroom at all the girls and boys next to me, who I came to realize as my siblings, looking all malnourished and on the verge of death, I refused to let my moment or theirs go to waste, so I quietly talked with them about how we were going to escape. The next morning, before Father came to punish me, I crawled through the window and ran away, then called the police from a nearby neighbor's house. At last, we were free, all of us. I could barely wrap my head around the fact that all those people were my siblings, and those monsters who tortured us were our parents. They're in prison now, and we've left their house to live with foster parents. I just wish I could say that everything is all right now, but after growing up the way we did, none of us will ever be okay. For Father's Day, we wanted to do a story regarding one of the scariest dads out there. The dad in question for this story is a man named David Turpin. You all may have heard about the disturbing viral case called the Turpin case, which consisted of the Turpin family, who was made up of the parents David and Louise Turpin, and their 13 children whose ages varied. What makes this story horrific was how the victims were held imprisoned in their own home for a total of 29 years. While in captivity, the suspects would punish, starve, and hold the victims captive against their own will. After one of the victims, Jordan Turpin, miraculously escaped the home and called 911 to report the unfathomable house of horrors, the public soon learned the awful truth of what David and Louise Turpin did for all those years. When authorities entered the house, they found the victims being held in dark and foul-smelling surroundings. Authorities said the husband and wife pleaded guilty to false imprisonment and various other charges, resulting in 25 years to life, with the possibility of parole after 22 years. That being said, I think it's safe to say that David Turpin is indeed one of the creepiest dads out there.